This is a really quick video for a certain magical index, the first 3 episodes. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my interaction and then come back here to some of my full thoughts and theories about these episodes and my first impressions of the anime and what's to come and all that kind of stuff. So click away now or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. So, very very cool show. I did really enjoy it. Animation for like the combat and like the fire, the lightning, the holy like light or whatever that was happening with Index and everything when she was summoning the angel. All that is gorgeous. It's beautiful and well done. So I'm excited to see because that's just like the first 3 episodes of the anime. So I'm super pumped to see what's to come with it. Like what's like going to be the what was I gonna say what is going to happen with the show like going forward. Like is it going to like ramp up to the point where like there's going to be constant battles and all that kind of thing, and then just have like all these really awesome visuals. Or is it just going to slowly kind of be consistent with like every episode having something cool to see kind of thing? So the first episode was all about the lightning and everything, learning about the main character and the world and everything. And the second episode was all about Index and the fire guy and all that kind of stuff, or I should say Style Magnus. Then the third episode was kind of in a way a continuation of Style Magnus and what happened with that, and then the whole Index healing event and everything like that, and then a little bit after that. So very cool show. Every episode was very interesting to watch. The world in general is really cool. I do love the fact that it's well, their city, Academy City, is effectively a science-driven city. No magic whatsoever. It's a science-driven city, and everyone there believes in science and like that kind of thing, and their powers and everything come from science or birth or whatever, genetics, whatever. It can all boil down to science. Then this foreign entity, whatever, enters like their world, Index, and changes up the whole thing, and all of a sudden, boom, there's magic, there's sorcerers, there's like all this kind of stuff like happening and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very interesting show. So the people who are by default like magic themselves, not magic, but like just empowered, are called espers. They have, I guess, genetically altered to the ability to actually do abilities and that kind of thing. Then there are the non-espers, and they have to do magic, like incantations, rituals, that kind of thing, to do what espers can do. So that's what the main character, Toma, when he was talking about how like he doesn't believe in magic and that kind of thing, because I'm assuming he knows that non-esper people can't do any special things that espers can do. So it's a really interesting show. I really dig it. So I cannot wait for next episode or next set of episodes to see what happens with it. So the anime itself, for those of you wondering, is going to be 96 episodes. I'm gonna write that down. So like, yeah. I'm going to be doing a certain magical index and scientific railgun. Scientific railgun. Those two things. I guess it's like a season or something like that. So yeah. So this is the first 3 episodes. I mean, it's going to be a pretty long anime, which I'm excited about. So yeah, I love doing long animes because then like it gives me a long time to kind of get used to characters, their mannerisms, how they think, everything, and then I can just hardcore theorize about like what could happen next and focus more on the plot and kind of, you know, just find out how the characters evolve um, and get stronger and make friendships and new characters showing up and all that kind of stuff. I love long animes. They're really really cool to watch really. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. Not entirely sure what's going to happen next. All we know is Index and Toma are together right now. Toma is in a way acting as Index's guardian, seeing how he can effectively nullify any magic user, sorcerer, whatever, who comes in contact with Index. Um, Index has the knowledge of thousands and thousands of books, tomes, in her head, which I called. Because like I was thinking maybe when I first heard that she had books on her, I thought it was like she can open up like a portal and then like reach in and grab a book and then like take it out kind of thing, or like they're all around her constantly, but she has to like in a way like use magic to like reveal them and then like take the book out of thin air or something like that. But it made sense that it's in her mind and she has a photographic memory to remember all of it. And it makes sense that she lost her memory because I'm guessing she read a book, a very big book, and in order to understand it and maintain that knowledge, she had to give up like memories and everything that to help fulfill the or to help clear room for the tomes and everything that she's reading. So yeah, so she's been in the city for a year. It seems from what she was saying. What I'm thinking, I'm wondering about is why she's not um, pushing to go to a church like a holy ground basically, because that's what she was saying that she was going to find safe haven. Um, so if that's true, then I would think that she'd just go do that right now and then lay low and move around or, you know, whatever. Toma can follow if he wants to, but ultimately bring her to the church so that way nothing happens to her on the way there kind of thing. Right now, Index is somewhere. This new girl, or Kaori, she has made a like almost like a meeting chamber with Toma to discuss things and probably find out information about Toma and who he is and where he is and what power he has and try to like just like maybe poke and prod at like what his power might be for herself, that kind of thing. But basically Kaori and Style Magnus, they're both after Index. They want to kill her, that kind of thing. Magnus is in a way like sort of looking like he doesn't really have any like anger towards Index. He just kind of like it's a job, right? Like it's just like he's trying to kill her, and then but like he doesn't have any like thought like he's not like, you know, I hate her and I want to kill her, you know, just like none of that. He's just like it's a job, you know, just like, you know, just a normal thing, which is really really interesting. So I'm interested to see what happens next for sure. We did learn about a couple other characters. Makoto, which is in a way the bug zapper, the lightning girl. Then Karoko, the investigator girl that was with Makoto. There's a couple names I picked out from like the characters talking or whatever like that. That's like the only thing. It's really interesting. Okay, so one thing I did to bring up is characters seem like children but are adults, so that's something to get my head around. Like for instance, the young, or in my eyes, young, the little teacher, Toma's teacher that they brought Index to use magic with. She is going to her house. She's like, you know, beer bottles everywhere and like chain smoking and like all this stuff all around, and she's like in a body of a child kind of thing. So that's something to get used to, I guess, for me, because I'm not used to that in anime. I mean, I guess in a way, there was a show that I did for a one shot. Oh, do you remember the name of that anime? Let me pull it up real quick on my on the site. Um, it was like Problem Children. Yes, Problem Children. Problem Children had the same kind of effect. How like there were characters in there who were in the body of a child, but in reality they were like thousands of years old and all this kind of stuff. So it reminds me of that in a way. With the whole premise of like these characters and these people and everything. Anyways, uh, Keiroko, the investigator girl, she seemed like just normal like schoolgirl basically, but she's an investigator for whatever, basically trying to figure out what's been happening or what caused the fire and all that kind of stuff. So that makes me wonder if the academy, it's almost like, because like it's Academy City, so like the academy is all built up, all these schools and all kind of stuff, but it's almost like in normal school how like you have hall monitors and classroom presidents and that sort of stuff. Stands to reason that can be like a normal thing in this city, because it is a city of schools, um, and they're all students. They need to have people doing other things. Whereas if that's their goal in life to like be like an investigator or whatever, they can effectively start now, like be an investigator for the city, and then just like go about their schooling and like be an investigator and do that on the off time or during school or whatever. So there's bound to be classroom president, but like more so school president or building president or like in a way academy president, maybe there's a actual like adult there. I'm not sure. But the only adults we have seen are Magnus and Ka- Kaori. Kaori. Those are the only two like adult characters that we've seen. Like body wise, like I said, that there was like the teacher who was in the little girl's body, and I feel like there was somebody else that we've met. I'm not sure about Index, if she's adult yet or whatever, but because she doesn't remember how old she is, maybe. She might be an adult. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the characters are interesting. Main character is very interesting. How he can nullify literally anything, nullify the grace of God, and like just like nullify luck. Like literally nullify luck. Like that is hardcore. Like that's why he was so unlucky and he's like breaking stuff all the time and all that kind of stuff. Um, I really do like that concept a lot. I'm also wondering if it's just his right hand. I wouldn't think so. I would just think that's like the focal point of his um, Esper powers, or whatever, is like at the his palm of his right hand is like the strongest, where he can like amplify all of it into one spot, and then he can just like touch something, nullify it completely. Because otherwise, all that fire around him, ridiculous temperatures, and then like his hand would stop something, but then like the fire would go around him and like spiral around him or whatever. His body would be like torn apart like instantly. Um, at those degrees that the guy was talking about, Magnus, when he was talking about like, I think it's just like 9,000 degrees or something like that. Like damn, literally melting doorknobs in an instant, and all that stuff. I'm surprised that the fire extinguishers didn't go off immediately, like just like with their sheer temperatures and everything, and the smoke and all that kind of stuff. I'm really interested to, or I'm really, what am I trying to say? I don't know. It's weird that the fire extinguishers didn't go off when the fire was billowing like at ridiculous temperatures. Anyways, so I'm wondering right now if Kaori, if she has engraved these runes in like Toma suggested to Magnus. When Magnus did his like runes and everything, he did it on paper with ink, and he plastered them all over. And then the water, drenched the paper and everything. And Magnus was saying, it's not normal paper. You can't, it won't work on whatever. But he didn't take into effect the ink and everything, so the ink melted and the runes went away, and he was able to nullify the creature or whatever. But with Kaori, I'm interested to see if in a way she took what Magnus didn't do, and literally engrave those runes in like the area, and like is activating them or whatever when Toma was in the intersection kind of thing. So yeah, I'm not like she said she wanted to talk. I don't think she wants to kill him, but at the same time, maybe. I don't know. I think ultimately it's trying to get knowledge and all that kind of stuff of who he is and what he is and all that kind of stuff. Because he's not a registered Esper, I guess is what like they were saying. But at the same time, I don't think they ever called him a Esper. I think he might be something different. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, I feel like that's it for right now. If there's anything I missed that you would like to talk about, leave a comment down below, and I will message back if and when given time, about my thoughts and everything. Obviously, no spoilers to future content. Only talk about these 3 episodes. And if your question is if I'm going to watch Railgun, I am. I am watching Railgun. I'm watching everything. 96 episodes for Index. So, yeah. One more thing as well. I said this in my reaction as well. But if you have any ideas for what kind of borders I can use, or just styles, basically, like my original thoughts on border is the top section here could be kind of like a holy kind of style, and then the bottom could be all like magic and like runes and that kind of thing. It's kind of like just the thing I just thought up of off the top of my head. But if you guys have any cool ideas or that kind of thing, I'm literally thinking of ideas for 3 shows at once. Not only for Dorora, but Index, and I haven't seen Konosuba yet, but when that starts up, I'll be thinking about borders for that show as well. So I have a lot going on in my mind. So any help would be appreciated. Even just like, I can do simple things like a chibi picture or whatever for a couple characters, like up here where the show would be, that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and tune in next week for some more Index. I was gonna say a certain magical. It just says yeah. I'll be referring it to Index from now on, just to lighten the load or whatever, instead of the start of the redirect video and that kind of stuff. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for some more Index. Take care, everybody.